Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is currently in self-isolation following the positive results of the test carried out on the Chief of Staff to the President, Malam Abba Kyari, by the National Center for Disease Control. This day was also informed that some presidential villa officials were currently in isolation because they had contact with Chief of Staff. A source in the presidential villa told This Day on Tuesday that the vice president, as a precautionary measure, went into self-isolation Monday night immediately he was informed of Kyari's test results. Osinbajo attended several state house events last week, including the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday, which was also attended by Kyari and chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari. This Day had exclusively reported on Tuesday that President Buhari tested negative for the coronavirus after a test was carried out by the National Center for Disease Control following the positive status of his Chief of Staff. The source, however, said Osinbajo had yet to take COVID-19 test. There are, however, reports that three staff of the presidency may have tested positive. These days gathered that the Minister of Health, Osage Enanire, will brief the press on the categories of presidential officials in isolation. Meanwhile, the presidential villa, Abuja, wore a different look Tuesday. Activities were low-key in the villa, while State House staff and presidential aides were in sober mode. Here, there was also concerns on people's faces as nobody seemed to know who would be the next victim. Some staff and appointees wore face masks, with almost everyone cuddling the hand sanitizer. Added to the mood was the transfer of the permanent secretary, State House, Mr. Jala Arabi, out of the villa to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. Also, the number of the State House correspondents in the villa has been pruned from over 100 to only 13. A circular released by Deputy Director Information, Mr. Atta Essa, said the pruning was done in accordance with the directive to reduce the number of people gathering anywhere to 50. This is what, my people, this is medicine after death. What were they looking for this while? What were they doing all this while? Close all our borders. They say like we don't hear. They don't want hear. Grandstanding. They didn't want to do it. You see them? You see themselves? They are frowning faces. They don't know who is going to be the next victim. You see? Some children, if it were to be children will say, you see your life? You see your life? You see their life now? Do the needful, they will not do it. They think the way, that the way they are being celebrated, or they are being unduly celebrated, I think that's the right word to use. They think maybe this coronavirus, we've been saying it now, it does not know anybody. You don't know who you be. If you like, get billions for your accounts, you on your own or not see the happen. You go just come near you, pakan, and if you don't pakan be that, not see the happen. You see? Do the needful, they will not do it. Be proactive. Lie. Until things will get to this level, that is when we'll start running skater. I pity those who still gathered, even as at when they said people should not gather. They were saying all manner of things. Those who are saying, oh, na lie. You think these politicians, they will want to use themselves as a experiment? Everybody's hearing their names here and there, left, right, and center. They are going to be briefing those who have had contact with Abba Kyari. You see their life? All of them now, they are so afraid. They are so afraid. Those one who are like, oh, we have the power, we can do and undo. You see now, they are going to go into isolation. All the things that they've been presiding over, nothing again. It has ended. It has ended. And some of them who have not even started showing the sign, everybody needs to be careful. At the end of the day, their wrong policies, have been affecting the masses. They are the ones who have been traveling up and down, flying like bird, flying up and down. Now they will still bring problem to the masses. Not that there are things on ground in the first place. Nobody's even praying to be sick or to be isolated, because isolation is another thing. Because if you don't have people that will be encouraging you, it's a very, very, you know, it's a bad state that no one would want to even be in that position. You see, something that wouldn't have cost us anything, we will not do it. We will not do it. See the business. I don't know the business they were even running after, because they want. I don't know how many people are even coming to the country because of that. They didn't lock the airports, all the borders, left them porous. They allowed all their people to who travel to come in before they started implementing. You see all this big money, that is what is causing it. And we hope that the article's on, because we are hearing contradictory statements that as soon as he came back, he went to one of the clubs in Lagos. The father denied that, and we are seeing some whatever speculations here and there. We're still going to go into that. I hope that that shouldn't be the case, because it's a different case. Just an handshake that he had with the governor of Bauchi State, it's now a different story. It's a different box game entirely. You see what we have been saying, talking about. So they all need to go, into isolation. Osinbajo must do that, because there's no way all of them, since Abba Kyari came back, that they never had contact with him. They all know what happened now. They know how far they've gone with him before the news broke out. Someone says here that Baba must have gotten it, but they don't want us to know. I say, even if he's still alive, or maybe that is what you are wishing for him. And someone say this is a humiliation program of God in action. Unknown gunmen or this now known coronavirus is dealing with the world. Where are the strong? Let them not infect the rock itself. May God please protect our leaders. May we live to see the pestilence come to an end. Amen. And someone says here that Afazad, but we must pray to Jehovah to have mercy, so that a cure and vaccine is found soonest. Otherwise, and it's just not visible, everyone must go into isolation. These airborne strains of viruses are most problematic. We shall, by the grace of God and mercy of Jehovah, overcome. It is well with us and with our souls. And someone who is saying that okay, and somebody says, may God help us in Nigeria. I laugh. Before they are claiming above, that they are above. Of course, they are claiming that they are above. They think it is by law. They will make law, you break the law. Any politician who take power by force, God will beat them. Vice President know the truth, but he allow himself to be used by Satan. Really? By Satan? How? This is surely a plague from God to deliver the oppressed. Otherwise, how can we explain corona attack starting from the villa? To make matters worse, there is no hiding place for anyone. Even those with private jets can't fly out. No country to receive and hide them. Not even Saudi Arabia will accept them at this moment. The best solution is to do the justice to masses. Take care of the masses. I think that's what the person is trying to say. That they need to take care of the masses so that things will be okay with them. Of course, there have been mixed feelings here and there, and if you could listen very well what people are saying, people are not really happy with the politicians, but they don't care. They don't care, and that's why nobody seems to be sympathetic. Majority of the people are just like, oh, it is good for them, it is good for them. And one thing is that they can't even travel out, because that is where they have an edge. Any little thing, they've flown themselves out of the country because they think they have the means. So if you don't have money, hide your face. If you don't have the means, you die there. So now they cannot go anywhere. Who is going to even accept you in the first place? When those ones are still battling with their people, they don't even know the way out. So they want to now they will not want to admit you. It's not going to be possible. They don't even want anybody. Even those that have been given visa, they have revoked the visas, just like Nigeria has done too. Even if you have visa to any of those countries, they have revoked it. You can't even enter. Nobody says, at this critical time. So you have to sit down, sit back in your own country and face the music. Someone says, no peace for the wicked. It seems this Koro is a blessing in disguise against our criminal politicians. Rat race loading. Death is for everyone. Um, they must not go unpunished. So guys, let us hear your opinion. Osinbajo is going on isolation as well. Everybody, it's only Buhari that is remaining now, because the rest ones are going on isolation. Even Buhari now, it will be difficult for him or dangerous for him to be facing all these people with all of these things. So guys, let us hear your opinion. Leave your comment below and let's hear your thoughts.